Hey everyone, hanging out in Milwaukee. Figuring that I'd take this art piece here that was in my sketchbook and try to make it a little bit more finalized and put it on something cool for my buddy. So here's the first step in the process. Try to find an image that you like and see what you can do. If you do have words, this is going to get flipped. So make sure that your words or your design is backwards. So that once you transfer it, it will be the correct way. So I already have this image flipped. There are no words, but it's going to wind up being kind of a mirror of itself. So step number one, find the stuff you need. I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to come back when I have my thing to make this. So I'm back. I found this cool box, and it has a little glass front on it. So step one is going to be make sure you take that out. Yours may be different. You might just have a normal frame, but whatever the case may be, I'm just kind of taking this off, and it's going to pop out. And if you look at this glass, you'll notice that it's kind of dirty. So you're going to want to wash this off before you transfer your design on. I'm going to go wash it. You don't need to see me do that. I'll be back in a second. I'm back. I have this all cleaned off. Front, back. It's all nice. I just used water and paper towels. Paper towels I find work better than cloths as far as drying stuff off quickly and not having streaks. If you do have a couple of things that are still left on there, it's not a huge issue because you will be painting and adding color. It generally gets hidden. If there's a little scratch or a defect in there, a lot of times it does get covered up by painting. You just want to make sure to have that on the side that you're painting, not on the side that's facing everybody. Now I'm using glass. Glass is nice because you can use a razor blade to clean it off if you make mistakes. You can use plexiglass if you're worried about stuff, if you're worried about this breaking, you can use plexiglass or another clear plastic. Just a heads up with those ones, if you are using razor blades to try and take away mistakes, or if you're trying to do scratching techniques in them, that can leave permanent scratches, and it might not work out the same way that the stuff does on glass. So just be cautious. If you are using those, you really have to plan it out and try not to make too many mistakes with it. Sometimes also with the plexiglass, depending on the paint you use, the paint can stain. So if you do take off a mistake every once in a while, it will leave a little stain on there. So I like to use glass just for purely artistic stuff, but if you have something in a high traffic area that might get bumped into, use plexi. It's going to turn out very similar. So I have this. I'm going to grab my design and get it transferred onto the glass. Alright, so I have a brand new deco, extra fine line. I have my glass that's over my design, and getting this marker started. Sometimes you have to push it down in order to get the paint to start flowing. So now that I have all of that taken care of, it's time for me to start tracing over my design, and it's just that easy. Try and stay right on top of your lines. The way that this is going to work is all of my stuff is going to go backwards. So most of the stuff that I would call finishing, such as outlining and highlights and texture and things of that nature, all that is going to be done right up front because you're going to continue to cover with color, and eventually the last thing that gets done is the background. So all of this stuff that you see right now, you won't be able to see from the back after I'm done with it. I'm going to use a razor blade to clean up my black line before I move on to any other step. So you'll notice kind of the slits within here. You can use those as breaking points to create tools for yourself. I suppose I could use a cutting tool for this, but sometimes it's just easier to snap them off. So now I have 3 tools that are different sizes. So I have my general idea down. I've made my razor blade correction, excuse me. It's going to be hard for me to highlight on white paper, so what I want to do is put down some brown paper or whatever other colored paper you have, and that's going to allow you to see some of your highlights a little bit better. So you can get a white one. I don't have any fine or extra fine right now. Don't know where they went to, but should be able to do most of my highlighting with the broad tip. All throughout this process, double checking is really crucial to make sure that what you're doing is going to work. And so what I noticed when I double checked is that the size that I had on my design was a little bit smaller than the box. So I want to make sure that my painting is side up and just make sure that all of my lines go all the way off the edge. Feeling just like I should. Feeling happy about the brand new things and the joy that each new day brings. Feeling good. Life is a game and we all play it. It's what you say and how you say it too. So keep your eyes open wide and prepared to fly as you see your dreams come true. At the top of the hill you can still see the sunrise. Just home isn't that far away. Cause home isn't that far away. Cause home isn't that far away. The beautiful life will open up your eyes. Cause home isn't that far away. doing this and you're putting it in a frame, I probably want to get a piece of paper, cut it down so it's about the same size, and back it with that just in case. You don't want to pull it out of the frame and pull off half of your picture. That little piece of paper will definitely save it. Put it in carefully. Got everything turned. Alright, there you go. All framed up. Looks nice, clean, pretty easy. Ta-da!